How's it going, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be looking at another article, and this one from Car and Driver is actually looking at a brand new version of the R8 V10. Now this is significant because this is most likely, well, everyone's predicting it to be the very last R8 version to actually be powered by a V10, with Audi moving along and going into the next generation of the R8. This is something that I kind of talked about in one of my videos, I believe last month. And yeah, it's kind of depressing. It sucks. I know I really love the V10 in the R8s. Obviously, it's the same V10 that we see in the Lamborghini Huracans. So it's a fantastic powertrain. It's a fantastic just overall engine. And unfortunately, Audi is cutting back on that because I guess, you know, they want to be more green, but it is what it is. But before we get into today's video, definitely be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe if you're new. If you're not and you've already been subscribed, definitely be sure to click that little bell icon down there. That actually turns on post notifications and notifies you every time that I do post a new video. As a smaller car YouTuber that does upload every single day, it really does mean the world to me, and I am very grateful for any support that you guys can throw my way. But without wasting any more time, going ahead and looking at this article by Car and Driver here, this new 2023 Audi R8 GT rear-wheel drive has a little bit more power and a little bit less weight. Just going through some of the photos of it actually right here, you could see that it's definitely like a more kind of performance-oriented Audi R8. I know that's a little bit silly to say, but it's not like a luxurious edition by any means, but the amount of aero on this edition is actually quite surprising. The wing, I don't know if Audi's ever actually had an R8, at least in this generation, that has a more aggressive wing than this new special edition. I also really like the canards on the front here with the more kind of aggressive front lift, moving on to the like more aggressive front side skirts. And you can obviously bet that all of this stuff has been wind tunnel tested. It's a lot more aerodynamic, has a lot more downforce, and all of it does serve a purpose. It doesn't just, you know, it's not just on the car to look cool. I mean, after all, it is an Audi R8, so all of that R&D is already there. But underneath the kind of rear hood, I guess you could say, we have the V10 FSI engine. And yeah, unfortunately, this is what's going to be, you know, gone in probably like the next year or so. Obviously, this edition is a 2023 model year, so it's at least going to be around for almost another year. But honestly, I cannot see any sort of path or future past 2024 where Audi is going to use this engine again. To be quite honest with you, I know it really sucks to say this, and it's something that I really don't want to kind of speak into fruition, but it's already been confirmed. Audi's already said that they're moving away from it, so there's really nothing that can happen at this point. But going back to the article and looking at some of the more, I guess, technical specs of this new edition, again, it's still powered by that 5.2 liter V10, except now it is actually bumped up to 602 horsepower. I believe before it was around 580 something. I do actually remember seeing it somewhere in this article, but you could take my word for it. It was around like 580-ish, and this one is over 600, or just over 600, with 413 foot-pounds of torque and a 3.4 second 0 to 62 miles per hour, which is essentially a 0 to 100 kilometer per hour time. And it also has a top speed just under 200 miles per hour at 199. Now, it kind of goes on and talks about some of the aero that we already kind of spoke of or touched on in this video, but again, this article will be linked down in the description below. I'm not going to try to take credit for Car and Driver's work or anything, and they do have a little bit more details and information than I'm just going to go out and say in this video. However, the one thing that I did find pretty interesting is that, again, this R8 is going to be rear-wheel drive, but you could see by this little kind of subtitle right here, now with more slip and slide, and that's essentially referring to the rear differential. It's going to have, like, I think up to like 10 different settings, which is pretty crazy, and they essentially go from the minimum amount of slide to maximum amount of slide, and that's all going to be kind of integrated in the driving modes that's going to be available in this car. And that is actually going to be through the electronic stability control option menu, I believe. So it's not actually traction control, which is kind of funny to me, but all that stuff is going to be basically controlling how much that those rear tires are allowed to spin, because we all know with actual, like, you know, regular traction control, once the car senses any sort of wheel spin, it kind of cuts power a little bit, or it essentially figures out the amount of power to actually cut going to the rear, or I guess front wheels if it's an all-wheel drive or front-wheel drive vehicle. But yeah, like looking down, it talks about its 20-inch wheels. It does come with Michelin Sport Cup 2 tires, which are, you know, pretty awesome tires. Nothing really too special about this car besides the fact that, again, this is most likely going to be the very last edition of the Audi R8 that we're ever going to see be powered by a V10 again. Also, they're only making 333 units of this special edition, so I'm sure that down the road, like 10 to 20 years from now, or even I guess further, this car is definitely going to appreciate in value for collectors that are looking to pick one up now. So by all means, if you have like a warehouse to store it, and you have the funds and monetary capability to actually just pick up an R8 on a whim, I would suggest getting this specific special edition, because I can almost guarantee you that literally next year it's going to start growing and appreciating in value, as long as you don't drive it and put miles on it. But what fun is that, getting a car that you can't drive? But anyways, that's pretty much just gonna be it for today's video. I know it was like a shorter video, but again, I'm sticking to that daily upload schedule. Let me know what you guys think about the R8 moving away from the V10. Again, I know I already talked about it in a video I did last month, but it just sucks. Like, it's a terrible subject to talk about as a car guy. I'm not really much of an Audi fan, but I did grow up when these R8s kind of first hit the scene with their first generation back in the 2000s, and I just can't, I mean, obviously, yes, there's always been V8 R8s, but I just can't imagine the flagship Audi R8 not having a V10 in it. But again, it's what's happening now, so I can sit here and complain about it and be all doom and gloom about it, but that's the future. And let me know what you guys think about it down in the comments below. While you're down there, definitely be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff I said before. You guys know what to do. Like always, thank you guys so much for the continued support. I hope you all have an awesome day, and I will see you in the next one. If you enjoyed today's video, click on either of these links right here to watch a similar video from this channel, or click on the little circle link right there to actually subscribe to the channel. It's absolutely free. I do appreciate all the support, but thank you for sticking to the end of this video, and I hope you have a fantastic day.